Finally! After years of searching, the ancient temple of Tezcatlipoca! Oh, untold riches surely lay within. Praise the Almighty, soon I shall be a rich man! Oh no! No! No, please! Please! No! No! Ah! People of YouTube, hello and welcome! My name is NinjaMan777, and as you might be able to tell, today we're playing with fire. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own fully automatic tracking missile launcher. Now, here we have a very simple design. Now, I have a bunch of other stuff to do other things to show you later, but essentially, really the only thing you need to pay attention to is this little circuit right here and this command block. So, if we flick the lever, boom, it starts shooting fireballs, and as soon as they are shot, they start heading straight towards that player. Now, obviously, you don't always want it to have it being targeted at the player because you don't want it to kill you, but you can target it at anything you want, and it serves as an absolutely marvelous defense system. And as soon as you flick that lever off, it turns off and no more fireballs. Now, this build is super duper simple. The only things you're going to need are a dispenser, a redstone torch, repeaters, some redstone dust, a command block, which if you don't know, in order to get one, you have to go into the chat and put /give at s command _ block, and then a lever and a fire charge. Well, multiple fire charges actually. Then what you're going to want to do is first we're going to slap down our dispenser right here. You can put the command block wherever you want. I like to put it right next to it, but its location really does not matter. Then we're going to quickly set up our redstone clock right here. So we're going to place down a repeater right next facing into the dispenser. And then we're going to put the redstone torch on the opposite side. Whoops, make sure to be in sneak mode so that actually works. Then we're just going to run redstone around to make an extremely simple redstone clock. And you can toggle the repeater to control how quickly it pulses. Then we're going to put a lever on the top, so that way we can toggle our redstone clock so it can go on and off. This is one of my favorite redstone clocks, by the way, because it's so versatile. It can be toggled on and off with ease, and also if you want to, you can always add more repeaters right here if you want to increase the delay, so you can make it a very quick redstone clock or a very slow one. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go into our command block, set it to repeat and always active. We're gonna go into our command input and put in execute. So basically what this is doing is executing at the command as an entirety, which is going to be type equals small fireball, which is what we're going to be targeting because that's the data, that's the name basically that command blocks have for the fire charges. So make sure to cover that with square brackets so that it works correctly. Then we're going to put 3 little tildes, which stand for the origin of command. Then we're going to put in TP, which is teleport, at S, so it'll teleport itself. And then we're going to use a new character, these little up arrows. Now what these are is these are directional coordinates, but they're based on whatever way the entity is facing. So the first one would be right and left. The second one will be up and down. For this one, we're going to put 0.1. I'll explain that later. For the last one, we're going to put 0.5. This one is forward and backward. So basically, what this command is going to be doing is going to make it so that the fireball will go up 0.1 of a block and forward 0.5 of a block in whatever direction it's facing. Now this is the important part. You want to put facing and then at P. So this will make it so it'll target us. You can toggle this so that it'll target other things, but for now we're just going to have it target us because that's the best way to show how this works. Then you're going to have to grab some fire charges, slap them into your dispenser, and as soon as you fire that baby up, it will start dispensing fire charges. As you can see, if you put all of this in correctly, we will now have the fire charges following after us. Now, whatever you put into here will control how fast the fire charges go for this last coordinate. So if you want to make them go a little faster, you can put 0.8 facing at P, and that will make them go faster, and the more that you increase that, the faster they will come towards you. You don't want to make them go too fast though, or else it looks so choppy that it doesn't really look like they're moving at all. So now that you understand how all of this works, I'm going to show some cool ways that you can use this technique. So here we have a little speed running thing. So it's kind of like Temple Run or other games like that. You have to get through the obstacles as quickly as you can, and as soon as you get to the end, you get like a little thing. Now you can make this some sort of endless runner or whatever you want. As soon as we get it, says you win. It sends some fireworks and you get a chest full of diamonds. Now the thing about this is that, let me run back to the front here, is that if you don't go fast enough, if you lag behind, the fireball comes and gets you and you die. Kind of like in Temple Run or other games like that, where you have the giant monkey chasing you or whatever you want. So that way it forces the player to keep running or else they're going to die. And that is a cool way to use this, obviously. Now here I actually have it so that as soon as the fireball gets close, it'll kill the player. Just so because an actual fireball only takes away a couple hearts, and I didn't want to have to be spawning like 20 fireballs in order to kill the player. But it's just a really neat and simple way to use this. Before we go on to the next example, can I just comment on how weird the evocation fangs sound? I mean, it sounds like they got something stuck in their nose and they're like, gotta get that stuff out of my nose. It sounds like they're hacking up snot or something. It's weird. Like, I don't know, I never thought about it before. Maybe because they're just like there and back, but when you have it just looping over and over again, it's really quite strange. So here we have my Jaguar Temple build. It was featured in the intro, so you got to see how it works. I'm pretty proud of this thing, both stylistically and because of how awesome it is and how easily it works. So back here we have some command blocks. There's quite a few, but don't get worried. Most of them are just set block commands, nothing too complicated. So back here we have a clock circuit, except it's missing one piece of redstone. So as soon as you put a piece of redstone right in this place right here, it will start firing off these two dispensers right here. I don't know what happened to me. I couldn't remember the name for a second. Now, in order to keep them from never running out, I have another dispenser up here with one fireball in it. And then I have two command blocks right here that are just cloning it over and over and over. So no matter how many times this fire, it'll just clone this block up here. And since it's never going to run out of fireballs, these will never run out of fireballs. Now, if you've never used the clone command before, it's extremely simple. All you have to do is put in the coordinates of the block that you want to, the block or the blocks that you want to clone. Guys, I don't know what it is. I'm just not able to talk right now. Anyway, so you put in the first corner of the coordinate. Now, this is very simple because we only have one block that we need to clone. So we're actually going to put in the same coordinate twice. So as you can see, it started lagging a little bit. Anyway, as you can see, we just have the same coordinate, -64, 10, 69, -64, 10, 69, because we're just cloning one block. But if, say, like you wanted to clone like these 4 blocks right here, then your first coordinate would be like right here, and your second coordinate would be right here, and it would clone all these blocks because it works in like because Minecraft works in squares. Anyway, so yeah, you're just going to clone that over and over again. So just set up a repeat always active and a chain always active, and it'll just copy those 2 blocks down there over and over and over so they won't run out. And then the rest of this is even simpler than that. So we have 1 block right here that is testing if the player gets within a certain radius of like right here. My game is not wanting to be my friend today. right about around the mouth. So if you go back up, you can look specifically at the test for block, and it shows that you're testing for the player at x equals y equals z equals, so those are the coordinates, and then a radius of 15 blocks, which is the r. And so once it does that, it activates a bunch of stuff. It sets that redstone wire that was missing. It sets the 2 coal blocks we have over here to fire, and it sends a message, which is "you have unleashed my wrath." It plays the Enderman sound, which, if you want to see the string, is play sound mob.enderman.death at A, or at all players. So that way it makes that horrifying noise as soon as you activate it. And then over here we have a new thing that you might not have seen before, which is RM. Now RM is the opposite of a radius. So while the radius will be within a certain area, the RM, or outside radius, or whatever you call it, is outside of that area. So it works the opposite. So while one thing may be testing for something like inside this square, so if you had radius, it would be testing what's inside here. If you have RM, it'll be testing what's outside. So yeah, that's pretty simple. Once you get the hang of it, it'll be a breeze. And so then what this is going to do is we just have some set blocks for setting this redstone wire down there to air, and then setting the fiery eyes back to coal blocks, so that way it'll reset as soon as you get far away. Now obviously I have it disabled right now, or else it would be shooting fireballs at me and it would just be really hard to explain. But I think that it is time to go to our final example. Now here's the idea you probably thought of as soon as you saw this thing. It makes a pretty epic security system. Now over here I have my friend Super Steve 2417, and he's going to be helping us show off this concept.
Hi guys, it's time to die.
So as you can see, I have this set up so that it will only attack other players and other mobs, but not me. So as you can see, I turn this on, and Super Steve is absolutely getting punished. Like, there's nothing he can do. He's just dead before he can do anything. It's insane. And then here I have some spawn eggs. If I place out let's put some shulkers, some husks, some cave spiders, and just watch. It's insane how quickly it works. Look at this. The mobs are flying, guys.
I believe I can fly.
It'll just it just kills them so fast. It's insane. You can just hide out inside your house and it just will destroy everyone left. Oh, there goes Super Steve.
I'm falling like you, Benjamin. I'm falling. Ah!
Oh.
Wait.
And as you can see, it just disappears. Like, it just kills them so fast. It's insane. It's like the best security system ever. Now, if you're wondering how you can do this yourself, it's really very simple. Don't mind all of these other command blocks. Those are for other things I'm working on. really all you need is this. So earlier I showed you how to make this, however it was tracking the player. But if you want to know how to make it track other entities and players, then all you have to do is change it from facing at P to this little thread right here. So you put facing at E and then make some square brackets, put type equals exclamation mark small fireball. Now what that does is it makes it so it'll target every entity except for small fireballs. And then you put comma name equals exclamation mark and then put your username, so that way it will target every player except for the one with your username. And then you have to put C equals 1, which means count equals 1. The reason you need to put that is it makes it so it will only target one thing at a time, because if you have multiple targets, then the fireballs won't know where to go and it will not work. So that's all there is to it. As soon as you put that in, it'll make it so it'll attack all other entities and players. Now, one interesting side effect that happens with this is that if the fireballs run out of targets after they've been tracking something, if it gets killed or you turn it off or whatever, then they'll just stay there, like frozen in midair. It's really a cool effect. If you want to like make a map, just like make some sort of mob and then just have them follow it and then kill the mob and they'll just stay there. It kind of reminds me of the floating candles in Harry Potter in the main hall. Hey, that gives me an idea. We'll have to save that for later. Anyway, so yeah, that about wraps up this video. I've shown you 3 cool ways that you can utilize this burning fireball technique, and there's just so many other ways that you can employ it. You could use it for like mob farms or whatever you want. Really, the only limit is your imagination. So with that being said, like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you like what you see, and once again, my name is NinjaMan777, and I'll see you next time.